welcome back to the channel StuTV. I'm Stuti, and as promised in the previous vlog, this is the part 2, that is the continuation of that vlog. We spoke about the hygiene factors that needs to be taken into consideration while you are in the journey of looking out for jobs before landing in Canada, and I hope it was helpful and it gives some value when it comes to job hunt. Continuing that particular vlog, today I'll be throwing a set of questions to Amrut, some of which you guys have asked, some of which we thought needs to be put it out on this particular platform so that you all are aware stuff, so you will be knowing as and when we'll be moving ahead in this particular vlog. So stay tuned, watch this vlog till the very end. Do not forget to like, share, comment, and most importantly subscribe. That is one thing that keeps us going. And channel Amrut, how does it feel to be back?
It feels good, and I'm waiting to talk to you.
Oh, waiting to talk to me. Aise we don't talk, huh? Okay, anyway. So, continuing the vlog. So, the first question that people want to know is which field, so IT, it's a big umbrella under which there are various domains that people belong to. So, which specific domain are you coming from?
So I am coming from the cybersecurity and information security domain. I have had the history of working in multiple different flavors of information security and cybersecurity. That being, the third line of defense, in IT audits, in the reporting side, and even in the assessment side. But now I'm working on the reporting side with the current firm of the employment. And it's more into the domain of cybersecurity. Okay.
So the next question is, while you received the COPR a little later than the date I received, but when did you actually think it was the correct time for you to start looking out for jobs? I mean, which month did you, look at?
So I actually started my job search a little prior to getting my COPR, but the actual job search, in the sense when looking for the jobs and applying on the jobs, that actually started in close to April, May, when I actually had my COPR in my hand.
Okay. And what were the different platforms that you were looking at?
So I was looking at the traditional job search platforms like Indeed, Workopolis, Monster.ca, and I think I spent about a month and a half on those platforms before I started pivoting towards LinkedIn, where I realized there were many more jobs being posted there, and it had much more response when we applied on those jobs.
Yeah. So one thing that I think it's important for us to tell them is the resume standard. I mean, it's one of the most important questions that people have in their mind is the way we set out or structure our resume back in India is slightly different from what people expect here in Canada. So did you go ahead and do those structural modifications in your resume while you were applying for the jobs?
Well, I didn't do any such structural modifications to my resume because I thought it's all the required information that was supposed to be there in my resume was already there. What I did make a change is I added specific sections on the projects that I did, specifically in the area of my expertise, to showcase the value addition that I had provided to my previous organization while I was working with them. And I also ensured to keep my communication details intact and updated so that they were able to reach out to me in case they were interested in hiring me or interviewing me for any positions.
Yeah, so by the communication information that he is talking about is the virtual number that we had taken it, and I had taken number, and it was being used by both of us, and it was the same number that we had put it up in our resume for the Canadian recruiters to reach out to you. So please go ahead and ensure that you have the Canadian number, or else recruiters do not connect with you,
right?
So that is important. And it was the same case with me also. I did not do much change in the resume. I come from a marketing stream, but then the most important factor that we took into account was that all the important information, the keywords which is associated with your domain, is there in your CV. Structured, okay, to an extent it may matter, but then I thought that it was the context or what we are trying to set it out to the recruiters, how we are matching that particular vacancy or that role is of utmost importance. So now that you've told that you did not go ahead and make any structural modifications in your CV, one question that people have in mind is that how did you end up getting a job in Allstate while you were in India? I mean, who connected with whom?
So with the case of my current job with Allstate, my recruiter, a recruiter actually who reached out to me through LinkedIn with this specific position and checked with me in terms of my interest in terms of that specific role. And when I generated interest in that role, she actually became my de facto recruiter face to Allstate as an organization, and she then was coordinating the entire process on my behalf.
Okay. So you said she actually reached out to you on LinkedIn.
Right.
So that is a very important point which I would like to highlight, that he became a very searchable commodity on a platform like LinkedIn, where recruiters understood the skill sets that he possesses and how he can duly fill in the void or the vacancy that they had for that particular role. So how to become a searchable I do not know how do I put it, a searchable commodity or a searchable human in a platform like LinkedIn, and what are the nitty-gritties when it comes to going ahead and searching for jobs on a platform like that is something that we will be talking in depth in the coming vlogs, the job vlog series that we started. So please subscribe to our channel, and I'm sure you'll find some value in the content that we are trying to create for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. So now that you told that the recruiter reached out to you, what is important now is to understand what was the entire duration of the recruitment that took place. How long was the entire process from end to end?
So from end to end, I believe the process did not last more than a week and a half. It actually got over in a week and a half. Yeah, from the first call that I got from the recruiter, the first interview that got scheduled, I think it was not more than a week and a half.
Okay, so they were actively recruiting for this particular job, which they wanted to fill in like immediately.
Yes, they wanted to fill in immediately, and they were interested in closing the position quickly, and that really helped.
Okay, so that was for IT. I mean, it's very job specific also. Like a few interviews that was scheduled for my role also, they were looking out for there was one interview wherein they said they wanted me to join like yesterday. It was that urgent for them. But there was one interview wherein they said they will take a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks, for the entire process, because there were various levels of interviews that, the recruiter had to, duly comply with. So it's very, it's company to company, it varies the entire duration of the recruitment process. Okay, so what was the mode of interview? By mode, I mean, whether it was a Zoom call, a Google Meet, and was it or if it was a telephonic interview or video, what?
So it was a Zoom call.
So it was just a telephonic call that happened?
Yeah, it was a Zoom video telephonic call.
Okay, it was telephonic. It was a Zoom call but telephonic, not video.
No, it was a video call.
Oh, it was a video call.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So and how many levels of interview were there?
It's 2 levels. One with the senior manager and one with the team of that senior manager.
All right, and both were video.
Both were video calls.
All right. So now that you've told that they were video calls, were you given a set of dress code that you need to wear? How was it?
No, there was no specified dress code told to me. I chose to wear formal and be ready for that interview. But there is no specific dress code that was mandated for that specific interview.
Okay, all right. And one more thing that I think we've gone through is, the timing of the interview. So if you remember, I had one interview which was scheduled at 3:30 a.m.
Right.
IST, because the recruiter called up and he said he wants to schedule an interview which is mountain time. And I just know there was EST. I did not come in terms with the fact of mountain time, and I said yes, go ahead and schedule. And later when I just converted and I came to know that it was 3:30 in the morning, and that interview had to go on for an hour. So I mean the interview completed at 4:30 a.m. IST. So and this was one of the cases that I'm talking about. So how was it with you? What was the timing that was, at what IST time were the interviews scheduled at?
Luckily for me, the interview time was around 12 a.m. at night. So I was able to be in sane timings, to attend the call, and both of my interviews did happen at that same time itself.
It's a big variation that can happen, and again it is specific to how the recruiters are and what time they are available at. So again, there is no specific timeline to this. The interviews has to be scheduled during this time. You have to stay up for each and every interview that is happening. One question that I think is important for us, I mean, we've discussed this quite a number of times, I guess, and I think we should put it out for them, is did you negotiate for the salary that was given to you?
No, I didn't negotiate for the salary. I felt the salary that was offered to me was justified and it fit the requirement that I had. What I did negotiate for was the timing to join in, because I had to manage the commitments with my organization in India, and thus I needed some time, because the notice periods in India are a little higher in comparison to the notice period that are
what
there
is your notice period that you were serving?
So my notice period was 2 months, and I had to get 1 month time to my joining once the offer was finalized, so that I could wrap up the commitments with my existing employer.
Yep. And did the recruiter actually tell you how soon you need to, actually join in for this particular role? Was there some sort of pressure coming in from the other side to you?
Yes, there was some pressure because ideally the notice period in Canada and in generally in US and Canada it's about 15 days. That's 2 weeks. So for them to understand that I might need an additional 2 more weeks to wrap up some of my commitments was a little unknown for them. But the HR and the recruiters both coordinated and accommodated my request. And that was a more important factor for me to negotiate.
So you got a job while you were in India, and while we were coming, just a few days after you got the offer letter, was the company willing to provide you with some sort of travel assistance, whether it was the flights, whether it was your stay, the 14-day quarantine that we had to comply to as per the government rules? So was some sort of assistance given to you?
Well, there was no assistance which was offered upfront from the organization, and ideally there was no expectation from my side as well, because the fact that the organization expects the candidate to be in Canada while they hire you, and they have been considerate enough to interview you while you are in another country. So I was not really expecting any accommodation assistance from them, unless the case happens where they hire someone specifically to fill that position from somewhere outside Canada. If that's the case, they would accommodate and they would probably even budget for such a scenario and the assistance that they want to provide to that candidate. So I was not really expecting anything. So I was not provided anything. So
Okay, it was all on us.
it was all on us. Yes,
Yeah.
ideally yes.
Yeah. So again, how did we go about searching for the Airbnb? What are the pro tips that we kept in mind and tried saving money here and there? Vlogs are coming up on this as well. So please subscribe to our channel and get those valuable information from us for your. So I think these are a few set of questions that I thought was important for us to put it out for them. Do you have any specific thing in mind coming up to with regards to your whole job search or your interview process that you wish to say to them?
Well, one thing that I can say is the interview process is fairly simple, and in my case, it was not very technical in nature. I think the first level of acceptance in terms of you as a professional for that specific role is done through your resume itself. So resume really does more than 50% of what you intend to do, and the rest comes down to the interview. So interview is more like just validation check in terms of, okay, the candidate looks good.
Yeah.
Does he really or does he or she really apply their minds in the same manner? So that quick check happens while the interview happens. So the main focus is again the resume. If your resume wins it, you're likely way ahead in the race to close the deal.
Yeah, true. आज का ज्ञान आज हमने नया क्या सीखा? I think this is it from our side today, and this was a small question answer round that we thought we should put it out. Do show us your love. Let us also feel motivated through the comments. Subscribe to our channel, give that like. Share it with your friends and family who are wanting to come down to Canada and who are looking for a new job here. Hopefully they'll find some value through our videos, and till we meet next time, stay fabulous.